No one wishes it. No one wishes it for their child. But it's hard watching a child go through something. Very hard. I remember Kadie saying, "Mom, she really thinks you need to be here." So then I'd pick the phone up, and I remember that call. She was real, "Yeah, you need to be there. This is something more serious than just, a slight heart problem."
I was having headaches and kind of lightheadedness. So I went into my primary doctor, and she did a bunch of tests. I mentioned that when I was working out, I kind of got short of breath. So then she's like, "Oh, I'll just do an EKG just to double check." And I had never had an EKG, and I was 26 years old. So I guess I didn't think I would be having one. And she did it, and it was abnormal. That led to more tests that kept coming back abnormal. So then she referred me to an actual cardiologist, and I still wasn't having heart symptoms or anything. So it was kind of odd. So I went in and did a stress test where I had to be on a treadmill, and then they measure all this stuff. At the end of it, the technicians kind of were quiet, and then they just were like, "I'm gonna have an actual doctor come in and confirm that we can let you go." So I knew something was wrong then. At that point, I think it hit me. One doctor had said possibly restrictive cardiomyopathy, but then the other doctor was like, "No, her pressures seem okay." It was frustrating. It was weird too, because I felt pretty good. So it was frustrating being told one thing by one set of doctors and then another from another set. The hardest part was just not knowing. And they redid every test that I had already done. That day, I had my family there, so that was nice. But my main doctor was just like, "Yeah, you have restrictive cardiomyopathy." That was hard to hear it with confidence.
She took it worse. I think it was kind of like she had this dream that it wasn't really going to be that. And it's so rare, but most people, when they get it as children, and they've had a heart transplant by the time they're 8 or 10.
The diagnosis is idiopathic, which is from an unknown cause. They think I've had congenital heart defects my whole life, but I never had any tests done as a child. Didn't have a whole lot of symptoms back then. Looking back now, my lips have always been purple. I've never been able to run long distances.
Hearing about her illness and what she has for the rest of her life maybe kind of is a little shock to you. We're both in our 30s, fairly young people. My sister's always been a fairly, or I should say very healthy person, ate right, worked out, did things like that. It kind of changes your whole perspective of life.
My heart was going 300 beats per minute at certain times. The first couple of times it was scary because I didn't know what was going on. And they made me really anxious, but then it also felt like you were working out almost, but you weren't doing anything. And then when you would get back into a normal rhythm, you would just be exhausted because your heart had been going so fast. And a few times I went into the ER and they cardioverted me, so they shock you back into your normal rhythm. They just knock you out, and then you wake up and you have 2 big marks on your chest from being shocked. It was scary. And I probably won't do any more ablations. You don't want it. You can only do so many, and then you don't want to have too much scar tissue in your heart.
When she had that catheterization procedure done, and they pulled the cath out and ended up rupturing an artery in her leg, which required emergency surgery. That was the scariest because she got C. diff, she got staph. She was in and out of the hospital from the beginning of June till September.
Thinking about a heart transplant is scary. It's scary and like you fear everything. But then you can't really do anything about it, so you just have to let it go. When I think about my future, like, I'm not gonna be like climbing a mountain tomorrow or running a marathon or none of that. My body just won't let me. But I like to still be active and like go to yoga and take my dog on walks, hang out with friends and go places on weekends and travel. There's definitely some things I thought that I would be doing that I probably can't. I couldn't have, like, at least right now, I couldn't have a child. It would just be super high risk. So that is not an option for me. And that's hard. I'm just gonna keep moving forward and that's what I'll do.
But it's always in the back of your mind, just wondering, will it get worse? Will it stay the same? Where will 2 years, 4 years, 10 years, 20 years, what will life be like? We just hope she can stay where she's at and be the sister, aunt, friend, and things like that she is.
You know, my hope is that it just progresses very slowly, because the longer it is, the better advances they make in the heart transplant process, the better it'll be.
My biggest wish would be that something like came up and I didn't have to have a heart transplant. Some medical advancement could keep me feeling like this for, you know, another 15, 20 years.
Every penny that can be given in hopes that things increase and get better, and all of our knowledge, it means the world to these people. Not just Kadie, but anybody, I think, of young moms that have kids that are going through this, and they can have a little bit better life. And we know a little bit more down the road. It can't help but be good for everybody.
It just means more research, more development, more opportunities, more options for people like myself, so that you don't feel like you only have one, or you feel like your options aren't great. It could change everybody's future, anybody with heart disease.